My name's Fiona. I'm 29. I'm from Hetonley Hall and I'm a management accountant. So, during a routine hearing check in primary school, roughly 4 or 5-year-old completely failed the test. The nurse wasn't too concerned, just kind of said a lot of people do fail. They don't really know what they're doing, they're still quite young, they think it's a bit of a game pressing the button in. So I just got in for another one a few days later, and again I'd failed that one. So we went to the doctors and just explained what had happened, and they'd done a test on me, and it's meant to be if you can hear this noise, it would be horrible. It would be a really uncomfortable noise and you would really jump if you heard it. And I just sat there like nothing had happened. And at that time, they were just told there's absolutely nothing at all that can be done. They just kind of said, get on with it. This is what you're going to have to put up with now. Yes, you can't hear out of one ear, but you can hear out the other, so it doesn't seem to affect her, which it didn't at that point, because you could just go on as normal. But definitely as I got older, there's just, you can't hear a thing, nothing. Going through school, almost in a classroom setting, it wasn't too bad, because you really sit in silence while the teacher speaks to you. So if it's in that, for me, I find if it's one-on-one or me and just a couple of other people, my hearing without a hearing aid is good enough to pick up the conversation. But take me into a social situation where you're playing on the yard, or you're talking in a group but you're surrounded by other groups of people also doing the same, I can't focus. So my hearing is, I might pick a bit up of their conversation, a bit of theirs, and I don't really know who's saying what to who, which was difficult. It was hard at that point, because I was thinking, well, I actually don't know what the rules of this game are, or I can't hear what my friends try to tell me. I don't know if it's important or not. But at secondary school, in that time, that age range where I was, the last thing I wanted was to wear hearing aids, or admit that I couldn't hear, or I was struggling, or I had something that was going to make me different to everyone else. So I think desperately in secondary school, from like through your early teens, you just want to fit in, you just want to be part of the cool kids, and you don't want to be bullied or called names or kind of put in your own box as being the deaf girl. So I just kept going. I put up with it, and I got into a working situation. I think I was about 22, 23, and I just couldn't hear what people were saying in the office. Couldn't hear a word, couldn't pick up if they were talking to me, if they were talking to someone else, nothing. And that makes you feel really alone. If there's a group of people having a conversation and you can't join in because you can't really hear what they're talking about, or you don't know if anything's directed to you, or if you even could answer or join in, that is really lonely. And I just got to this point and thought, enough's enough. Like, I'm sick of feeling like I'm on the outside of everyone else's conversations when it's not right. It can't be right. So I thought, right, I need to go for a hearing test and kind of pursue what they might have done in the last 20 years that could have improved the technology to do something that could help me. So I finally went for my hearing test, and again, much the same as it was when I was 4, just hear the noise and push the button if you hear anything. And my results came back as we expected. I have profound deafness in my left ear, and it is at the point where there still is nothing they can do to improve the hearing in my left ear. So in terms of that had never changed. But what they did have was a new set of hearing aids which work via Bluetooth to pick up the noise on the left hand side and transfer it to the right hand side. So any sound on the left I would hear on the right. They are amazing, like they are so good. I can be out in the shops with my mum and it'll be busy and she can be on my left hand side and I'll hear that noise, what she's saying. I can hear her chat in my right side, so I can still hear, even in a smaller situation, it still picks up, whereas I probably would have heard she'd said something but had no clarity on what it actually was. So it improves every part of my social life. I can go out with my friends and I can hear what they're saying. I can order a drink at a bar and not have to ask the server 3 and 4 times how much it was. I can sit at work and have people ask me questions, or not shout from the other side of the office, but call my name from a few rows away and I can hear. I would say just embrace it, like it's part of you. This is how you've been made. It's who you are, and go for a test. I found people are so more positive and encouraging, and they want the best for you. So now I'm a bit older, but I don't know why I would have put myself last and put other people judging me first. It's definitely about you, and nobody cares anymore. That it's all of these different movements that are going on about just being yourself, not being different, but being different isn't a bad thing. It's just you do you. You be who you are, and definitely get a hearing test, because there's nothing people will say. And I find now that if I tell people that I have some hearing loss, it's amazing how many other people are in this situation that you had no idea. I had to tell people my story now and they're like, what? You couldn't hear from being 4? Like, how have you managed? And they just think, go and do it. Just do something for you, because at the end of the day, you are what's important. And if it's going to make your life easier, or you're going to feel like you can fit in and really benefit. I think if I had this when I was kind of 11, 12 in secondary school, my experience at school could have been very different. It makes so much difference. It is honestly one of the best things I've ever done, is just accepting I can't hear anything. I need to go and see someone to make my life easier and better, and that's what it's done. It makes my life better.